What is up, guys? Welcome to Diving Garage. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to measure piston depth. And today we're working on our $500 budget build challenge, this 283 small block Chevy. And piston depth is something that's easily overlooked, commonly skipped entirely. But I got to tell you, if you get this wrong or you don't even do this at all, your engine is never going to perform the way you expect. So let's dive in. All right, to make this adjustment, it's pretty easy. The first thing you're going to need to do is know where top dead center is. And in the last video, I talked about how top dead center for number one is the two dots, both pointing straight up, not dot to dot. If you want to see that video, check the link below. Anyway, a few tools you're going to need is a deck bridge, just like this. They make magnetic and non-magnetic versions. I got a non-magnetic version here. It's just fine, it's a little cheaper. And you need a gauge. And the gauge goes into the deck bridge like this, and that's how we're able to measure how far the piston is in the hole. So what I'm going to do here is actually take it off of top dead center. I'm going to bring it all the way around to just before the piston ends, and then we're going to set up our deck bridge. All right, so here are the two tools I mentioned. Let's get this set up. So what I'm going to do here is just let it loose in there, and we're going to find 0 on the deck. So let's get this here, make sure we're on the deck. Let's back off, and we're going to get just a little bit of engagement on our gauge. Gauge engagement. And then tighten it down. Just like that. You see here on the top, we got a little bit of movement, but now we know where 0 is. And so what we can do is we can make sure we're putting this nice solid pressure down, loosen up our wheel, rotate this around to where 0 is. Right there. Let's move it around real quick, make sure we're good. Yep, just like that, like that. And then we're going to get this in a place where you can see. I'm going to put this straight down, make sure there's nothing on the deck there. And we're going to push straight down with this hand and take our other hand and rotate the engine. And what we're going to find is that the piston comes up, and then, oh, hold on, let me get it steady. The piston comes up, it'll kind of hover for a second at top dead center, and then it'll go back down. So you can see the gauge moving now. There we go. Right there. You see how it went up and came back down? So now we know right at that 70, that's how far our piston is in the hole or in the cylinder. So, I mean, that's a pretty easy calculation there. Each one of these ticks is 1 thou, go all the way around. So our piston is 30 thou in the hole. All right, so now we know that our piston is 30 thou in the hole. And why does that matter? So one important calculation a lot of people forget, and part of any engine running, is we all know fuel, air, spark, right? But what about timing and compression? That's actually the full formula right there. And that last one, compression, is what we're talking about. So now that we know we're 30 thou in the hole, we know the other aspects of our engine. And I'm going to kind of step to the side here. I'm going to plug in a calculator here, and it goes through all the specs of the engine, the bore, the stroke, the piston relief, and then the piston depth number. So that number, when you change it, it can drastically affect the way or the compression number you actually get. So let's do two comparisons. On this side of the screen, I'll put up the accurate piston depth number. And then on this side, I'll put up the inaccurate piston depth number. And we'll be able to see the differences here. So you can see putting the right number in and putting the wrong number in can give you two very different numbers. And that can lead to a whole host of different characteristics for your engine. And it can either run the way you're expecting, or it can not. You know, it's really that easy. And also, while we're here, that same way we just measured is also how you can find top dead center. So when you're putting your balancer on, or you're doing your timing chain cover and that whole thing, before you put the cylinder head on, before you're ready for that, use this method to find true top dead center. And that might mean making a new mark on your balancer. So the marks that come on balancers are normally pretty good. They're pretty right on. But you gotta check. Don't trust someone else's judgment and measuring for your engine. Now guys, I mentioned it in this video briefly about how being dot to dot is not actually correct. You want both dots pointing straight up, or 12 o'clock. And in the last video I talked about that, and apparently it's a very controversial issue. But the thing is, people don't understand when once you put it dot to dot, or you put it both 12 o'clock, and yes, you have to rotate the engines a bunch of times to set the lifters, and then once you're done, the engine's all sealed up. How do you know which to do? Well, maybe you can go off the way the rockers are. Maybe you don't know how to do that, so you just set it at the mark on the balancer. Then you go to fire it up. It's shooting flames out of the carburetor. You got to turn it 180 out. So what do? The answer is, who says you have to cover all the bottom just to do the valves and the rockers? Once the cylinders are on, cylinder heads are on, you got the intake on, no carb, of course, no distributor, you got a whole long block. Why can't you then spin the engine upside down and then install the timing chain, the timing cover, the gaskets, the oil pump, and all that, then put it right side back up? There's nothing preventing you from doing that. Or, I mean, if you want, you could just go down there upside down and kind of work on it. Not a big deal either. But guys, remember, everything you hear on the internet isn't true. Tell me I'm wrong. I love it. All the comments that say I'm right, I say I'm wrong. I love them all. And if this video was helpful to you, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get out there and dive into your next project. Catch you next time.